Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well as we wrap up this semester. My name is Jacob Dacus, so as the syllable states, I will be presenting on a topic from Chapter 16 entitled Cognitive Dissonance. According to Leon Festinger, cognitive dissonance is the distressing mental state that people feel when they find themselves doing things that don't fit with what they know or having opinions that do not fit with other opinions that they hold. The specific area in this chapter that I chose to speak about is hypothesis number 2. Hypothesis number 2 refers to reassurance needed after your decision dissonance. I like to think of this as buyer's remorse, or simply put, when you make a decision and regret it. In this instance, you look for reassurance to help validate your decision. This dissonance grows the longer you spend deliberating the decision, and the need for reassurance is much greater the more remorse you have for the decision. So now that I've told you a little bit about cognitive dissonance and the second hypothesis related to cognitive dissonance, I would like to share with you all a personal story that happened in my personal life. As I am sure we can all attest to, making a major purchase is super stressful. A few years back, my parents needed to buy a new car because the one they were driving at the time was on its last leg. They were back and forth between a new Pontiac G8 and a Saturn Aura. Due to the condition of the car that they were driving, they needed something immediately, so they could continue having a reliable form of transportation. They ended up choosing the Saturn Aura because the dealership was closer to their house and the car was cheaper. Immediately after making the decision to buy the Saturn Aura, they regretted it. 5 minutes off the lot, it began to shake, the acceleration wasn't what my dad wanted, and the AC barely worked. It didn't have a sunroof like the last car, and it had cloth seats. After taking the car back many times to work on the AC and the engine, and to get the seats wrapped in leather, my parents finally started accepting the car as is and made plans to buy a new car as soon as they had paid it off. My parents experienced major buyer's remorse after the purchase of that vehicle and came to an understanding that they would never rush into a major decision like that again. Now that I have discussed a personal anecdote regarding hypothesis number 2, I would like to share some ideas that I have about ways we can reduce cognitive dissonance. The first is information. Many of the issues that we face that cause us stress and unrest stem from not understanding. If we would all take a few extra moments to gauge what something means, how it will affect us, and how it will be used in our lives, I think that the level of dissonance we have will be reduced. In the aforementioned story, my parents had to rush to a decision. Had they taken the time to carefully weigh their options and do more research about the specified vehicles, taken them both for a test spin, read reviews and current owners, and the other items that they could have used, they most likely would have not regretted their decision as much as they did after they bought the car, and probably wouldn't have spent as much money after the fact trying to get the car the way they wanted it. Now that I have talked a little bit about this inference, let me share with you how it can be applied to daily life. Every one of us makes decisions on a daily basis. There are some that are conscious and there are some that are unconscious. No doubt that some of us even regret a few of these decisions that we made from day to day. Taking a moment to really study the alternative choices and choosing that which is best suited for the moment will most definitely reduce the likelihood of suffering from cognitive dissonance or even buyer's remorse. In conclusion, the text gives us a bit more insight on how cognitive dissonance actually works and ideas of how to reduce the possibility of becoming dissonant through ways of reassurance. Looking at our lives in this new way will give us the opportunity to reduce our stress levels with lowering cognitive dissonance. But so what? Taking a few extra seconds or minutes to reassure ourselves that we made the right decision, or understanding the problem so that we can assess it the right way and use our appropriate information to assess our needs correctly, we can reduce unnecessary and unduly frustration in our lives. Acting on this will give us more peaceful and pleasant experiences in most of our decisions, and I believe that it will help us learn patience as well. If you were to take away just one thing from this talk, let it be this. Take a minute to make the right decision today so you don't have to make a new decision tomorrow.